Hey everybody, and welcome back to more Pokemon Sword. Last time we went through Route 4 and did a bunch of bios, battled Hop, and our Scorbunny evolved into Raboot. And in this episode, we're going to go throughout the Galar Mine. So this is really our first dungeon, I guess. Maybe you could count the wild area, but I don't really... No, I wouldn't really count the wild area as a dungeon. That sounds stupid. And there we got a revive. See, my issue... Well, an issue I kind of have with Sword, starting off this part really negative, I know, is I hate that you can buy revives from the beginning of the game now. I like in older games where you're limited on what you can get. In this game, it's just like, hey, have revives beginning of the game. It does make it easier, but... And I know you don't have to use them. Let me start that up there. I know it's something I will get thrown at me, but still, I like in later games you just get revives whenever you want, and... This guy's using a Roggenrola. I'm actually going to go ahead and do a bio on Roggenrola really quickly. So, returning from the Unova region is Roggenrola. It's supposed to be a pun on rock and roll. I really like it. And he's a rock, you know. It's funny. All I want to say is please laugh at these jokes. They're all I have left. But, yeah. Roggenrola is very defensive with good physical attack as well. If you played Gen 5 in particular, you probably have fought a lot of Roggenrolas and its evolutions. Because the reason I have to bring these up is they're very annoying in Gen 5 because they have Sturdy. And with Sturdy, a Pokemon can get hit, like let's say you have my Roselia there did that Magical Leaf on that Roggenrola and it had Sturdy. With that ability, I beat it in a one-hit move. In Gen 5, it has Sturdy, it just stays alive. It stays at 1% health, and that's annoying, and it sucks when you're doing grinding or random battles in the wild. I don't know. Roggenrola is not bad. It is actually a pretty decent Pokemon. I've used it once, and it was okay, but yeah, just not a big rock-type fan guy. And it evolves at level 25. But throughout the Galar Mine, you're going to fight a lot of rock types, and you can also get a couple of ground types, and a fighting type here, like this girl just threw out. So, this is actually, what's the thing there says? This is Timber. So if you haven't gotten a fighting type Pokemon yet, and want one now, then Timber's not a bad choice to get. Timber's kind of like Machopper, can hit really hard. And I think it actually might be a little bit faster than Machop. I might be wrong on that. But Timber can learn a lot of rock and fighting type moves, which helps dealing with its weakness to fight, or the flying type. I'm sorry. Oddly enough, though, it stays pure fighting. I about to say flying type. It stays pure fighting type when it evolves. So yeah, and it evolves into Girder at level 25. It's a pretty decent lineup. I can recommend it. So. Next up, I want to cover Diglett. So, Diglett is the fastest ground type returning from the well, I think it's still the fastest ground type in the game. I don't know if Flygon's pretty fast, but I think Diglett may be faster. Don't quote me on that. But, like I said, Diglett returning from the Kanto region. Diglett's a decent little Pokemon. You probably use one in Gen 1, fighting Lieutenant Surge, because it makes his, gym a lot easier if you don't have a ground type. It actually can pretty just destroy his gym. But it's pure ground type in this game, unlike the Alola games. I'm pretty sure it gets a steel type in the Alola games. But Diglett's not a bad Pokemon, but I'm going to be honest, you probably won't get much use out of it early in the game because you're going to be fighting a lot of grass and water types. Besides it though, the Diglett line's not bad. If you want a decent ground type, it's there for you. So it actually does learn some great moves, and yeah, it evolves into Dugtrio at level 26. But going into the Galar Mine, the Galar Mine is kind of similar to... It gives me vibes of... is it Mount Coronet from Gen 4? I think that's what's called. It's like the cave you have to go through like 3 to 4 times because it's like all over the region. The Galar Mine isn't as extreme as that. Like you're not going to visit it like 7 times, but you do visit it a couple times. And Rookidee's finally evolving. And we now have a Corvisquire. So, Corvisquire, is like Rookidee. That sounds stupid. Corvisquire is actually a pretty decent Pokemon. The only thing with Corvisquire that I think that hurts is it doesn't learn a lot of flying moves. Like, I think we won't get a decent flying move. I think we'll get Wing Attack eventually. Corvisquire's not bad, but it's one of those things like you need TMs to make it better, I'm gonna be honest with you now. When it evolves into its final evolution is when it gets really good, however, but Corvisquire is okay. Yeah. like I said, when it evolves, it's much better. It is worth the wait. When eventually Corviknight evolves into Corviknight, it's great. But, yeah. I guess I'll talk about one other Pokemon here. I'm going to talk about Woobat. So, you know, some may call it the Ric Flair of Pokemon, because it's always saying woo. That was a bad joke. But, Woobat is a dual Psychic Flying type bat Pokemon. Woobat's a better version of Zubat, in my opinion, because it's quite fast, it has a decent special attack stat, and it's fast, you know? That's all it really has going for it. Really, the thing about Woobat is it has so many weaknesses that hurt it. It does learn a few decent moves if you want it for the early game, because you will fight quite a few grass types, so it will come in handy because it can handle that poison type with psychic moves, and it has the flying for like bug types and the grass types, so that actually can be good. But I'm just not a Woobat guy. I think it's purely because I think its evolution is so ugly. It's really what it is. But talking about Pokemon from Gen 5, I really do like this one right here, Drillbur. Like I said, one of my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon. Drillbur is a ground-type mole Pokemon. Drillbur is really fast and it hits hard. It learns some decent moves on them, but truly isn't that great until it becomes an Excadrill at level 31. Excadrill, I don't know if it's still banned on the tournament list, but I know for a while Excadrill was banned because of how good it was. I have used Excadrill before in some runs of Gen 5, and listen, when it becomes Excadrill, and even Drillbur early game isn't terrible, but especially when it comes to Excadrill can wreck shit, and I mean bad. So, if you're willing to fight with Drillbur to get it to level 31, it's just a very good Pokemon. I love the Drillbur line a lot. It also reminds me of Bottles from Banjo-Kazooie, so it has that going for it. Drillbur's great, though. Like, I recommend Drillbur if you want to get one. If you want a decent ground, and it actually gets a Steel Dual type when it evolves, it's great. This guy's a little smug. So he's chosen by Chairman Rose himself. So it's the champion versus the chairman picks. So, this is Bede or Bed. I don't know how you could say it, but we're going to put Bede to bed. So you might be asking, he's using a Psychic type. Why are you using a Flying type? Because of that. We have Payback, which is a Dark type move. The thing with Payback is it really does more damage when you're hit before them, but even then, against something like this, Corvisquire for its intro battle does a pretty good job. So starting off, he's using Solosis. Level 13 has Endeavor and Confusion. This Solosis is, it's okay, but when it evolves later on, it gets better. But, yeah, nice job, Corvisquire. Did a really good job. Hung in there at the end and beat a type it's weak against. Pretty good, I have to say. This fight's not hard. Honestly, you can destroy Bede very easily because for now, he's mostly relying on Psychic types. So, really, the only thing we have weak to him... Well, actually, now think about it. We have Roselia's, which is that Poison subtype. But also, Corvisquire. So actually, we're weak to him, but he's so easy. Because, like, watch this. He has his Gothita here. The thing is, when Gothita evolves, I'm pretty sure it gets a Dark dual type, as long as it's Psychic. So for some reason, I thought it was still Dark type here. But Gothita's level 15 has Psybeam, Tickle, and Pound. Psybeam is a good move, but Gothita isn't great. When it evolves later on, it becomes great. But, yeah. Like most baby Pokemon, it has some not great stats, I have to say. It also helps that I'm over-leveled, but when I first played through this game, I destroyed Bede. Because I think I already was over-leveled at that point, and by that point I'd already had a Magikarp that I caught in the wild area. And I think I may have already had it as a Gyarados. I'm pretty sure I did. So, with that Gyarados, I had Crunch. It was Crunch or Bite. It's one of the Dark type moves. It's whatever one you get first with Gyarados. But you just wipe the floor with it. So, yeah. And here's his star Pokemon, Hatina. I don't know how you say it. And it's level 16, has Confusion, Round, and Disarming Voice. I think Bede's team gets better, obviously, like most teams do, as it goes along. But listen, this fight's not hard. I actually had a pretty rough run here. You can destroy this guy if you're really trying. He's not hard in the slightest. He does have a great battle theme, though. He's so smug, though. I like Bede, I'm being honest. He's a fun character. So, yeah. One thing I didn't really talk about while going through the Galar Mine, that a lot of people do have issues with this game, and I do agree on this, is I do think that, oh, we got a bag of stars, so you can sell that to one of the shops and get quite a bit of money. But the thing with the Galar Mine, and this game in general, a lot of people have trouble with, is this game is quite linear, and that's been something the series, I think, has been going on, or has been doing, I'd say specifically. I think they've always kind of done it to an extent, but it really, I think Gen 6, I'm sorry, but Gen 8 is when the series is very streamlined, or linear. Like, you're going to go from point to point, and then you're done. There's not much to explore. And I can agree, besides the wild areas, that is an issue. And that is thing, like, I've noticed with other RPGs as well, like, when you think of linear RPGs, like, hallway design, you're going to immediately probably think of Final Fantasy 13. And it makes some people say that, because, like, while 13 is really bad about that, Final Fantasy X is also done that quite a bit. It's not as noticeable as 13, and it also helps that 10 is a much better game, but 10 does it as well. But that is an issue I do have with Sword and Shield, because, like, right now, like, the next episode, we'll be having our first gym, and it does take a bit to get to your first gym in this game. Not as bad as, like, Sun and Moon, because that game has, like, a 2 or 3 hour tutorial. The entire first island of that game is a tutorial, but, yeah. Sword and Shield is quite linear. But for now, we're going to try cooking out. So, if you ever did the Pokeblocks from Gen 3, this might be kind of similar. So, with cooking, you're going to take certain types of berries, however many you want to do, and you're going to cook a pot of soup, or not really soup, but you're going to make a meal with it, and you're going to eat it and soak in your Pokemon. So, the Pokemon that gets it will get extra, like, stat buffs with it, which is kind of neat. This can also help boost happiness, so if you have, like, a Togepi, or, like, a Pikachu, for example, use this and you can get a lot of happiness values from them. There's also with the playing with Pokemon at the camp, but pretty much here you're going to fan the flames. When you do that, you're pressing the A button. I got kind of thrown because I don't know if you're supposed to press the A button and shake your Joy-Con when you do this. I do both, just to make sure, because I don't really know, but yeah. The cooking thing it's an okay touch, but it's not something I really used a lot. And here you're just going to stir with your Joy-Con, or you can use the right analog stick to do it as well. This isn't a bad mechanic, it's neat. I do like when they have mechanics like these, because it's something that makes, like, the happiness stats go up faster. It does make it easier, especially, like, I wish they had more something like this in Generation 7, because I had an Alolan Raichu, and to get Alolan Raichu, I believe your happiness stat has to be the highest with Pikachu. Or you have to max it out, is what I'm trying to say. And it's quite annoying to do. But, yeah, speaking of Pikachu, there's the Pikachu right there. And we got a spicy pasta curry. I do like this. I love the Pokemon looking happy. Corvisquire, he's kind of, dark and mysterious, but he looks happy when he eats it, and I like that. Oh no, they get EXP, I'm sorry. I thought their I always thought their stats went up in general when they're eating. I didn't know that. I'm gonna be honest, this is something I didn't really use much. There's nothing wrong with it, I don't know. I'm always really bad at Pokemon games when they give you the side content like that, and I never use it, and then I'm the person who complains that Pokemon games need more content, so, yeah. Also, we're now on a Route 4. This actually is a pretty short route, but there are a lot of Pokemon you can catch here, so I'm gonna be honest, I'm just gonna start out now talking about these guys. I'm about to see a familiar, well, kind of a familiar face. This is Galarian Meowth. Is it you, Meowth? That's right, it's me, Meowth. Or Meowth, that's right. I forgot what it is. Meowth, that's right, it's me. I don't know, I messed it up, but, Galarian Meowth. So, it also looks like different because he now has a beard. Galarian Meowth is pure steel type, unlike Kanto and Alolan Meowth. Meowth here relies mainly on physical attack and defense. I'm gonna be honest, not a big fan of Galar Meowth. It does learn quite a few steel type moves, but besides the Metal Cult level 16, most of your steel type moves are gonna be HMs. It's not horrible, but I'm gonna be honest here when I say this, and this might be, people might disagree with me on this. I'm not a big Meowth guy. Love him in the show, just use-wise, Meowth's not my guy. He does have a new evolution in this game called Berserker, which I love, and it evolves into at level 28, and yeah, so Persian's not in this game. And this person is dressed like a Pikachu. Speaking of which, hi Pikachu. So, I'm 100% sure no one here knows who this Pokemon is. It's Pikachu, obviously. Pikachu is a very fast electric-type mouse Pokemon. Pikachu is mainly going to rely on speed and special attack. Pikachu caught in this area on Route 4 most likely will know Electro Ball. Like, that's really good time right there. Electro Ball is a pretty decent move. The thing about Pikachu, though, in this game, in Sword, it has a 5% catch rate. In Shield, it has a 1%. Now, this will be different with another Pokemon I'm going to cover right after this, but Pikachu is really rare in Shield, so if you want to get the Sword, definitely go with that one. Before I go on, Pikachu is a pretty decent Pokemon. If you want Electric type, this isn't a bad choice, because Pikachu is good. The only thing that makes me really sad about this game is you can't get a Alolan Raichu, because a Alolan Raichu is amazing. If I could get a Alolan Raichu, I would use it, but yeah. So, yeah, it evolves into Raichu and exposed to a Thunderstone. And this guy, or kid, little girl, I don't know, is seeing out the other Pokemon here we're talking about, Eevee. Eevee is one of my favorite Pokemon ever. So, Eevee is the normal type that can evolve into several evolutions, or evolutions. Eevee on its own isn't great. Its highest stat is special defense, which is nice, because it has defense that can back that up. However, it really shines when it can evolve into one of its evolutions, as long as it's not Flareon, because Flareon is, dog shit, I'll put it that way. I've used Eevee before. I usually use it every generation if I can. But I'm being honest here, if you want to start evolution for this game, I'd have to probably go with Sylveon. I love Sylveon a lot, but if you want, just to throw some ballpark names out here for evolutions I really do like, Sylveon, Jolteon, Vaporeon, Espeon, you know, any of those are great picks, I'm just being honest, but the thing is, if you want another, like an electric type, there's quite a few on this route, including Pikachu, like I said here, and this is Milo, he's a gym leader. I know I'm skipping ahead, but I'm trying to cover all these in one turn, or one episode, but, yeah, so next up is Electrike, and a shocking twist, Electrike is back. Electrike's really fast, has a good special attack stat, but I don't know, it's not great until it evolves at level 26 into Manectric. Manectric is so fast and learns a lot of great electric-type moves, and it can outspeed most Pokemon you're gonna face, so honestly, this isn't a bad choice if you want an electric type. It's sad you can't use Mega Evolutions, because its Mega is really good, but yeah. Another Pokemon here that you can catch is Badou. I'm gonna be really short with this one. Badou is the pre-evolution of Roselia. It's a poison grass type. It's not bad, but you're better off if you can just get a Roselia to use Roselia, you know. It evolves to Roselia when it reaches a high friendship, so, yeah. And, yeah, Hop's just gonna talk about this. I'm gonna quickly cover these. I know I'm not talking about it, and I do apologize. But next up is Pumpkaboo. I know it's July when I'm making this video, or July, it's June. But it's Halloween time here with Pumpkaboo. Pumpkaboo's kind of interesting, but it's a ghost grass type. And we also need to go meet up with Sonia. But there are 4 different variations of Pumpkaboo. It goes from small, average, large, and super sizes. Yeah, each size kind of has different stats. Basically, the larger the size, the lower the speed stat. While it has a cool type, it has a lot of weaknesses, and I'm not a big Pumpkaboo fan, and yeah. Design-wise, it's cute, don't get me wrong, but, like, use-wise, it's not great, and the only way you can get to evolve into Gourgeist is if you trade it, so, yeah. And we got Brutal Swing. That's actually a pretty good move if you have a Pancham. I do like that move a lot. But, talking about, quickly, diving into the other electric types here, I do want to talk about Joltik. Joltik is the bug electric spider Pokemon. Joltik's tiny, but listen, when that Pokemon evolves at level 36 in Galvantula, it's a killer. Dual type with it is really only used to rock and fire. It completely gets rid of that flying type weakness with that electric type. And yeah, Joltik, really, when it evolves, is fantastic. And, it's, I guess, polar opposite, kind of, from Gen 5. Just Ferroseed, it's a Grass Steel type. It evolves at level 40 into Theraform, which is kind of a weight, and the thing about Theraform, it has a lot of defense stats, which is good, is it's really only weak to Fire and Flying type. It's not a bad Pokemon. It does learn some decent moves, but if I'm gonna pick if I'm gonna pick a Pokemon like a grass type, I just pick something else. But like I said, it's not bad at all. It has Iron Barbs for an ability, so if a Pokemon does a physical attack against it, that Pokemon will receive damage, which is great. And next up is Cutiefly, Bug Fairy type, really fast. When it evolves, it becomes pretty decent. It's almost as fast as Jolteon, I'm pretty sure. And it can come in handy if you want a Bug type, but the thing is, if I want a Bug type, I'm just going to go with Galvantula. But Cutiefly's not awful. It's just kind of not something I'd really want to use a lot. So, yeah. And finally is Milcery. Cooking Up a Storm here is Milcery. Milcery's a fairy-type Pokemon. It's mostly used for the cooking thing. It has not great stats. Like I said, just used for cooking. Not great. It's cute, though. And I'm sorry I haven't really talked about much of what's going on in the game, but I want to get those covered. And we had to follow Yamper here, and that thing is awesome looking. I remember when this Geoglyph got shown off, everybody was like, is that the Dynamax Pokemon, or whatever? I think that's supposed to be a Toxtricity whenever we'll see it, but I'm still not sure. Some people say it's the Darkest Day thing. I personally think it's Toxtricity, but I don't really know. It's cool looking, though. So yeah, we got Milo's lead card, and we'll actually be facing Milo next time in Pokemon Sword. So, yeah, look forward to that. And she gets his Tear of Ice, because why not? So yeah, as I mentioned just like a minute ago, next time on Pokemon Sword, we're going to be heading to Turffield Stadium and facing off against Milo. So yeah, I do apologize once again for so many bios. I'm really trying not to just make the episodes bio-central. I do like doing them, but I do worry at times they are getting like that, so yeah. But like I brought up, next time, well, join me next time, I'm sorry. My brain is scattered here, as we have our first ever gym battle. See you guys next time.